What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the two new upcoming packages, the next infrastructure package, and the next stimulus package that has about 20 different stimulus items that are currently being negotiated on, and we'll see what is going to make it in this next infrastructure slash stimulus package, as well as the latest details on what is going on in the world today, including some shocking news about the Trump organization. Yeah, crazy news today. Also, watch to the end of this video because I'm going to show you a very controversial article that I'm getting some comments from you guys about that I want to address about a fourth stimulus check. All right. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, if you can, hit the like button for us, and let's jump right in. Also, I need to mention that my cat Lily is right there. So hopefully she will be joining us for the rest of this episode. We will see. Okay, the Trump organization is expected to be charged with tax crimes today. This is right as I'm filming this. As you know, I have to film this a little bit early because I have to film it. My wife has to edit it. We have to process it, upload it to YouTube, etc., etc. So as you can see here, an indictment against the Trump organization and its CFO is expected to be unsealed around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. The indictments charging the Trump organization and its chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg, are expected to be unsealed around 2 p.m. Eastern Time today, two sources familiar with the matter say. Weisselberg surrendered to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office this morning ahead of expected criminal charges against him and the Trump organization in connection with alleged tax crimes, their attorney told CNN. This is actually happening, and I will have an update for you guys on this on the next video as well. Weisselberg is set to be arraigned later Thursday at a lower Manhattan courthouse. Though former President Donald Trump faced multiple federal and state prosecutorial inquiries during his administration, the district attorney's indictment would be the first to charge his namesake company, the Trump Organization, for conduct that occurred when he led it. Trump himself is not expected to be charged, his attorney has said. I have also read that they might give a plea bargain to this Weisselberg, the CFO of the Trump Organization. They might give him a plea bargain if he's willing to testify against former President Donald Trump for charges that might be coming later on. So we will have to see if that happens. I will keep you up to date. This is happening. He has already surrendered himself to the district attorney, and his attorney has already given official statements on this. In fact, by the time you're watching this video, probably more information has come out. As I said, I have to film these videos about an hour, maybe an hour and a half early. We have to film them, process them. My wife comes in and edits them. Then we have to upload them. And, all this stuff takes a little bit of time. I will have an update for you guys on this in the next video as well. Next up, we continue to see good news for seniors as well as Medicare and Medicaid coverage across the United States. For example, this particular article, 120,000 people in Oklahoma have just gained Medicaid coverage as the expansion takes effect. About 120,000 people in Oklahoma are gaining Medicaid coverage effective today as the state's expansion of Medicaid takes effect, according to the Federal Department of Health and Human Services. Oklahoma voters passed Medicaid expansion last year in a ballot measure, and the expansion takes effect starting today. Oklahoma is now the 37th state to expand the program under the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. Since applications opened on June 1st, over 120,000 people have applied and been determined eligible for Medicaid coverage. An additional 70,000 people have not yet applied, are also eligible, the department said. Quote, today is a victory for nearly 200,000 Oklahomans who have been waiting for health care. I want to congratulate Oklahoma on joining the ranks of states that are bringing quality health coverage to our neighbors and families. I encourage the remaining 13 states to look at the opportunities included in the American Rescue Plan, the third stimulus check package, and join us so that every eligible person can be covered. The American Rescue Plan, the third stimulus check package passed earlier this year, provide an additional 5 percentage points of federal share of Medicaid funding for each state as an incentive to expand. However, the remaining Republican-controlled holdout states have largely not shown interest in the incentive and are still opposed to the expansion. Democrats in Congress are now engaged in discussions about a federal program to provide coverage in the holdout states. One of the 13 remaining states, Missouri, also had voters pass Medicaid expansion in a ballot measure last year. But get this. But the Republican controlled legislature declined to provide the funding, even though the voters passed it. And the Republican governor, Mike Parson, declined to go forward with the expansion without the funding. There's currently a lawsuit making its way through the courts challenging those moves. Also, one of the big things that are being negotiated on in the next stimulus package, the American Families Plan, is the expansion of Medicare, which will most likely include hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aid coverage for seniors. They say about 75% of seniors do not have this coverage. The seniors that do have to pay additional premiums for this. And if they get this included in the next package, first of all, 75% of seniors would get this coverage: hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids. Hearing aids alone, I hear, can be up to $5,000 per year, which is insane. I know the average person does not have $10,000 just lying around, especially when Medicare does not cover it. This would be a welcome change, including, eyesight exams, possible eyeglasses, dental coverage, teeth cleanings, more like in depth teeth repair. So yeah, I mean, let me know your thoughts on this. They're also trying to push to lower the Medicare eligibility age to age 60 or age 55. And if you do pay additional money for this Medicare benefits like dental, you likely will not have to pay for that anymore, and then could get it for free through Medicare, saving yourself hundreds or thousands of dollars per year. I think that actually has a very good chance of being included in this next stimulus package. And we're going to get to that here in a minute. But one of the big things is going around is that we really don't know exactly what is going to be in this next stimulus package. They announced a framework like a month ago that is really kind of irrelevant now. It's pretty much outdated as time has passed. And first of all, like Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has said that, yes, we do want to include the Medicare benefits in there. Now, that doesn't mean 100% it's going to be in there, but we have the Senate Majority Leader saying that, yes, he wants to include it in there. And I mean, he's in control of the Senate. But again, and that's why we're going to get into the details here in just a moment, but we don't know exactly what is going to be in the fourth stimulus check package, the American Families Plan, the fourth stimulus package, whatever you want to call it, right? Nobody can definitively say, yes, there will be a fourth stimulus check. No, there will not be a fourth stimulus check. Yes, there will be a Social Security raise. No, there will not be a Social Security raise. Yes, there will be Medicare expansion. No, there will not be Medicare expansion. Yes, there will be this 2 years of free preschool and 2 years of free community college. No, there will not. Nobody, and I mean literally nobody, not even the President of the United States, can say yes or no to this. So, and maybe the President, because I guess he could veto a bill, but I mean, that's probably an extreme situation. By the way, the president has said nothing but good stuff and open stuff to a fourth stimulus check. So I want to show you these articles because this is going to lead me into our negative article that I want to address. So we have here, just a few weeks ago, world leaders support President Biden's G7 call for more economic stimulus measures. This is where President Biden was saying to all the G7 leaders that they all should continue to pass more economic stimulus measures for the rest of the year to help the world economy, and so that none of these countries' dollar will be devalued. And all G7 leaders agreed to continue to pass more stimulus for the rest of the year. Joe Biden says that the weak jobs report makes it clear the need for more stimulus, and that Biden is happy to hear about a range of ideas on the economy, including a fourth stimulus check, and that he's actually open to a fourth stimulus check to be included in this next package. And if Congress wants to include a next stimulus check, then it's up to Congress that they can include it in this next package. The good news is that there's over 80 different lawmakers. It's actually, I think, over 100 now in the House of Representatives alone that want a fourth stimulus check. And we have over half of the Democrats in the Senate that want not just a single stimulus check, but for monthly recurring stimulus checks. Remember, there's 50 Democrats in the Senate. 28 of them actually want monthly recurring stimulus checks to be included in this next package. We actually have two different bills, a bill from the Senate for a $2,000 monthly stimulus check that is actually backed by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, as well as Senate Budget Chairman Bernie Sanders, are both co-signers of this bill and have actually written a public letter to President Biden say they are in favor of this, as well as the bill from the House of Representatives that is co-sponsored by Democratic Representative Rashida Tlaib, and even more importantly, Democratic Representative Pramila Jayapal, who's the leader of the Democratic Progressive Caucus, which is like half of all the Democrats, which is about 100 Democrats in the House of Representatives alone. That is for a one-time $2,000 stimulus check, then followed by $1,000 monthly recurring payments. Okay. So here's why this is important. If we look at the third stimulus check package, we had one senator, Joe Manchin, who demanded that there be some changes at the end, and they need every single person's vote, so they had to make these changes. So I personally see it the same way with the fourth stimulus check. When we have so many Democrats, over 100 of them, that are actually writing letters, making bills, urging for not even just a single stimulus check, monthly recurring stimulus checks, we're talking about a lot more than one here. Okay, we talk about Senator Joe Manchin all the time because he's the one guy that forced changes on the third stimulus check package. I don't see any way there's 100 different Democrats plus that are not, they're all in favor of these four stimulus checks and these monthly recurring stimulus checks. Remember, they need 100% of the Democrats in the Senate, okay? And they also need like 99% of the Democrats in the House. So if these Democrats who've kind of already banded together say, we're not going to pass this next package without a fourth stimulus check, well, they're going to have to appease them just like they did Joe Manchin. And I think that Joe Manchin will go along with it because, remember, they have $1 to $2 trillion from the past stimulus packages that is past money that's already been printed, and it's just sitting there from past stimulus packages that is available. There's actually $2 trillion. $350 billion of it is going to states and cities for these state stimulus checks and other state stimulus programs, as well as $600 billion they're going to use for half of the physical infrastructure package. That leaves about $1 trillion or more that they can use for stimulus checks, okay? The $1,400 stimulus checks only cost about $400 billion. So they could actually do like, what is that, like $3,000 in stimulus checks or recurring stimulus payments of $1,000 each if they wanted to use all that money for a stimulus check. That's why I personally think there's going to be at least a single stimulus check because one, they don't even need, that's like the Home Alone, A, 2, and D. Let me know if you know that Home Alone movie reference. But with all these Democrats demanding that there be a fourth stimulus check, and the money's sitting there available, not even to mention that Senator Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, are actually seeking almost $6 trillion in total for the two packages that they're considering passing without the Republican Party. And they're going to pass the next stimulus package without the Republican Party anyways, which is through the reconciliation process. All that kind of leads up to, how could they not include a stimulus check? This is exactly what happened with the second stimulus check package, okay? They originally announced the bill. There was no stimulus check in there. And people could have said, there's no stimulus check. It's over. It's done. And then 6 days before, they added in the second stimulus check. Okay. And in fact, in the third stimulus check package, Senator Joe Manchin, through the negotiations, they added in that $10,200 tax break for unemployed Americans. That meant that the unemployed American was getting an average of $1,000 stimulus check or a tax rebate back from that article they added in, that provision they added in, the day they passed it in the Senate. Okay. Literally the day of. That wasn't even in there, and they passed it. So nobody even knew it was going to be in there. And the day they passed it in the Senate was like, oh, by the way, we added this in. And that's why articles like this that just popped up, and I've seen some comments on this, kind of make me mad. This is an article by a lady named Katie Labosco, okay, writes for CNN, and they get paid to write these articles, okay. It says, no, there is no fourth stimulus check on the way. And basically what she goes on to say is kind of an opinion piece, okay. She says the federal government has sent out 3 rounds of stimulus checks to help people during the pandemic. But despite their political popularity, there's no proposal on the table to deliver a 4th round, which is not really true, because here's the proof right here. Boom, Senator Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren pushing President Biden for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks. And boom, Democratic Representative Rashida Tlaib has introduced a bill, an actual bill, for a $2,000 stimulus check and $1,000 monthly recurring payments. Okay, so first of all, when she says that there's no proposal on the table to deliver a 4th round, well, that's not true. I literally just showed you the proposals in black and white. Second, she goes on to say Congress would have to approve the money, is unlikely to consider more direct payments as the economy rebounds. This is her opinion, okay? So when we go to a title like this that says there is no forced stimulus check on the way, she's saying this as fact, okay, that it's not going to happen. First of all, Congress doesn't even know if it's going to happen because they're still negotiating all these 20 different items. You can't even ask Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer if it's for certain going to be yes or no, because they don't even know the answer to this, because the negotiations are literally going to happen down to the wire. Okay, but she goes on to say here that it is unlikely to consider more spending on direct payments as the economy rebounds. So this is her opinion. This is her opinion. And then she goes on to say, while there's some support from Democratic lawmakers for recurring payments, which is not just a single stimulus check, but for monthly recurring payments, the party has slim majorities in the House and the Senate. Limiting the 3rd round of payments was a key priority for moderates during negotiations of the latest pandemic relief. Yeah, the party has slim majorities in the House and the Senate, and they passed that 3rd package on their own, which is how they're going to pass the 4th package. And all the Democrats voted yes for the 3rd stimulus check package as well. And we just talked about how there's money left over $1 trillion. They're using $600 billion of the $2 trillion to fund this infrastructure package, so they surely could use that for the next stimulus package. She goes on to say that the infrastructure package does not include a forced stimulus check yet, and that there's some pandemic aid already approved by Congress making its way to American families. The IRS is making payment adjustments for people who lost income during 2020 for the $10,200 tax break. And some families are set to receive advance payments on the child tax credits. Some people are still receiving federal boost to unemployment benefits. And there's some states that have ended this back early. So do you see why this makes me mad? We get a person who publishes an article like this, like it's definitive, like, oh, it's for sure, there's no forced stimulus check coming out, when really they have no idea. Somebody could have wrote this. In fact, there probably are people that wrote this, that there was no second stimulus check going to happen. In fact, I just took a second to just for a minute to look up here. A second stimulus check probably won't happen. A second stimulus check. People were saying this exact same thing back then. Look at the date, September 11th, 2020. Well, guess what? A second stimulus check happened and a 3rd stimulus check happened. Do you think these people issued out apologies saying, now this is saying there probably won't be a stimulus check, which I guess is a little bit better than the CNN article that says that there will not be a stimulus check. But let's just read this again. A second stimulus check probably won't happen. By Robin Hartill, September 11th, 2020. Again, this is an opinion piece. So when we go back to this CNN article here that says, no, there is no forced stimulus check on the way, She's not even saying probably. She's saying, oh, it's like she knows, like it's a fact, right? Katie Labasco. Well, I hate to say it, Katie Labasco. When they if they pass this fourth stimulus check package, do you think that they're going to issue an apology? Do you think that CNN is going to issue an apology to everybody for making it seem like that there was going to be no fourth stimulus check, like it was 100% certainty? Because here's the reality. Even Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, or Nancy Pelosi cannot say that yes, there will 100% be a fourth stimulus check, or no, there will 100% not be a fourth stimulus check. They can't say that about any of the stimulus items. The Medicare expansion, the child tax credit expansion that they want to do, that's only passed for 1 year. All these different, free college, Social Security raises, all these potential things that are included or could be included in this next stimulus package. You can't say yes or no with 100% certainty until they are passed, okay? The second stimulus check, there was people saying for months that there will never be a second stimulus check. Then there were people saying for months that there will never be a third stimulus check. And guess what? They were all wrong. Nobody can say for certainty if there will be yes or no on a fourth stimulus check. And really, a lot of these other things like Medicare expansion with these additional Medicare benefits that'll go on forever, possible Social Security raises that'll go on forever, free college that'll go on forever. Those, in my opinion, are actually more important than a one-time stimulus check, because these are talking about like Medicare benefits, hearing, dental, vision for seniors forever, not just a one-time check. Like these benefits are going to go on for years and years and years and years. Free college, 2 years of free college for people forever. I mean, that's actually more important, in my opinion, than a one-time check. I know a one-time check is a survival check. It'll get people by temporarily. Hopefully we see these monthly checks. There are these proposals that I showed you. There's also the child tax credit monthly checks that are already passed. People thought that could never happen as well. That's already passed for this year, for 2021. They want to extend that in the next package, but nobody can say for certainty if that'll be extended either in this next package as well. So I bring you the truth here. This article kind of peed me off because, yeah, I was not very happy about this because they're saying it like it's a fact when they have no idea. And I'm sure if they introduce it for a stimulus check and they pass it, that I'm sure they'll issue an apology, right? Yeah, I won't hold my breath on that one. But anyways, I will keep you up to date on everything, what could be, what will be in this next package, what might be in the next package after that. The Democrats get a whole nother round of reconciliation cards in about 3 months, and they have about a year until the next election where they can pass all these packages up until the next election. So let me know your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date. You can click this top video here to see all the checks that are going out in July, August, and September. There are various programs that are sending out checks right now. And you can click this top video here to see my newest video about President Biden's Social Security planned increase that could happen as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.